Here's a strange phenomenon that I've come across, is definitely in my time as being a certified personal trainer. People losing weight. Now, if I'm a good personal trainer, obviously they're going to be losing weight, but then you have an increased waistline. It's like, okay, cool. Depends on the way that you kind of, hold and store fat, okay? Especially for men, you hold it around your abdominal section, and then if it gets a little bit too extreme, you start to develop the phenomenon everybody knows as man boobs, right? Men store their weight there, and then women around the hips and the buttocks area. Okay, that's the way that it normally goes. Obviously, there are outliers that are out there, okay, genetics and all that blah, blah, blah nonsense, right? But when you have a certain situation like that, you're losing consistent weight everywhere, but your waistline still continues to grow. Unfortunately, there could be some underlying conditions. So let's take a look at that. Obesity is an epidemic of modern times. It's more or less a rich person's disease, okay? Because again, you're not going to see an obese poor person in anywhere other than in the Western Hemisphere. But with that aside, due to diet and different lifestyles, many people have problems with their weight, and it's threatening both people's health and life expectancy. And again, that other meme that's out there that millennials are the first generation with a lower life expectancy than their predecessors. I think that's the way that stuff works. And as for Zoomers sucking down e-cigarettes, I don't think that they are going to really have that much of a chance. So, haha, sucks to be them. Now, new research has found that there's an association between changes in weight and waist circumference and the risk of death. Body weight and waist circumference are common criteria for determining the degree of obesity. Yeah. It's not exactly the most reliable. It's right up there with BMI, which is just kind of a little bit odd. A new study of adults with stable weight and waist circumference found that those who reduce but have an increased waist circumference have a significantly higher risk of mortality. The research was based on data from 58,132 Chinese middle-aged and older adults. Wait a minute, how did you get that many obese Chinese people together? They're under a communist regime after all. And the results were published in a JAMA Network Open under the Journal of American Medical Association. There's no additional N in there. It's not medicinal. Anyways, on August 8th, according to data analysis, adults who lose more than 2.5 kilograms, 5 pounds, accompanied by an increase in waist circumference of more than 3 centimeters, a shade under an inch, had a 69% increased risk of mortality. Interesting. The findings considered factors such as gender, age, smoking, drinking habits, dietary patterns, physical activity, and a history of diabetes and hypertension. That's interesting. Okay. Researchers also found that high-risk groups among the people with a beer belly, also known as abdominal obesity, is typically seen in middle-aged or above who are losing weight but are gaining in waist circumference year after year. And also, if we're to throw out another meme that's out there, okay, abs are not created in the gym, they're created in the kitchen, and nothing could be more true. Again, for most men that are out there, the ones who are actually concerned and the ones who carry a vast majority, on average, of the abdominal weight, a lot of it has to do with poor eating habits. You can't outwork a bad diet. Research was led by Professor Pan An and Wu Tang Chu, Gesundheit, from Tongji Medical College, Huangzhong University of Science and Technology. So, obesity's linked to immunity. Interesting. Obesity may not seem to bring immediate harm, but the cause of various diseases affecting the body's immunity. The World Health Organization, has defined obesity as a chronic disease that may even replace smoking as a main risk of cancer. Interesting. A WHO statistic released on May 3rd said that more than 1.3 million people worldwide died from being overweight and obese every year. And those figures are underestimated. Just like an obese dude trying to approximate their weight. I think I'm about 2 and change. You're about 3.5. Oh, where'd that come from? Dai Zhang, or Jai Dang, whatever. A medical doctor at the University of Tokyo. Oh, now we're getting international. Told Epoch Times that in addition to cardiovascular disease, chronic diseases, cancer, etc., all are pertaining to obesity. Yes, indeed, Dr. Zhang said that obesity refers to the excess or abnormal distribution of fat in the body. That seems a little bit more technical. I like Dr. Zhang. It cannot be diagnosed by subjective or visual determination. Oh no, you can definitely diagnose it by visual, okay? I'll tell you, when I'm going out and I'm doing some grocery shopping, okay, taking a look at the people in the middle aisles, I can definitely go, that's obese. Somebody who's huffing and wheezing behind throwing things into their cart is pretty easy to tell, but I understand. First, body fat percentage, the percentage of fat in the total body weight. The way that it's measured, you need to do it appropriately, okay? As a registered professional, somebody who had to go through the trials and tribulations to get to my degree in this type of stuff, I know how to run a caliper test, okay? This is, again, it all depends on the ability of the person administering the test in order to get the proper efficacy of the test. Your mileage may vary, but you can also go into a dunk tank, literally, hydrostolic testing, okay, water displacement, that old gag. And then there's also a bunch of other things there as well. I don't know how accurate some of those body fat measuring bathroom scales are, but hey, it's better than nothing. It gives you a nice approximation. But anyways, which is standard for diagnosing obesity. Someone is obese if they have a body fat percentage higher than or equal to 25% for men, and higher than or equal to 30% for women. That makes sense if you just think about it, but again, 25% for men. I would argue that, well, you can also take a look at CDC statistics in the United States and then realize that what are the numbers at this point? 60 or 70% of people are obese or overweight, and of that subsection, 65 to 70% of them are obese. So yeah, another thing that I talk about is being the best version of yourself, and then even just being better than average. The bar has never been lower at this point. You can be so much better than everybody else walking around out there. Hip to waist ratio is the ratio between waist circumference and hip circumference. Okay, if the waist to hip ratio exceeds or equals 0.9 for men and 0.85 for women, it means central obesity. That is abdominal obesity. All right, the body mass index, that thing is just, it's kind of bunk because, again, it doesn't delve into body fat percentage. But that being said, or more of 24 indicates overweight, and a BMI of more than 28 indicates obesity. It's such a blunt instrument. It's like, again, if somebody is visually overweight, okay, as opposed to visually being an athlete, things can be a little bit different. Dr. Zhang said that family genetic factors partly account for obesity. It's very little, along with irregular habits of life and diet habits. That's what's more important. Therefore, persistence and the progressive routine are required for weight loss. The doctor recommends a low-fat, low-cholesterol, low-sugar diet. Wait a minute. With staple foods based on coarse grains. Oh, this doctor's retarded. Oh, okay. Instead of sugar beverages, drink more green tea or water. That's actually a good recommendation, but again, she's basically recommending your standard American diet, and the acronym SAD has never been more appropriate. Good fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrates. Again, like last week in particular, we did a couple of videos on the Mediterranean diet. It's number one for a reason. It's been successful. It leads to longer life expectancies with everybody who practices it across multiple different continents. So while yes, getting rid of sugar is very important, processed foods, imagine that, get rid of that. But the low fat, low cholesterol stuff, yeah, that's kind of stupid. If water tastes bland, get over yourself. Add lemon juice, honey. No. Fruit or vegetable juices to the water. That's weird. Fruit, I'd caution. Again, you're also saying a low sugar diet, but then you're saying add in fruit or fruit extract as well. Do you not understand fructose? Anyways, proper daily sports should maintain 30 minutes of aerobic exercise, such as running, swimming, playing badminton. Badminton, wow. That's a rich person's game. Cycling and climbing. I'm actually really good at badminton as well. Fat and calories will be consumed through doing sports and achieve weight loss. Not really fat, more or less your available ketone or glucose stores, but to each their own. Not everybody's perfect. People who are overweight should go on formal medical instructions and carry out reasonable weight loss under a doctor's guidance. Yeah, no, exactly. You want a nice standard exercise plan? 3 to 5 days a week, okay, 30 to 45 minutes of exercise. Lift weights as well, because again, you need to build up muscle in order to properly burn the amount of calories throughout the entire day, track all of your calories, and then just run a 300 to 500 deficit of your basal metabolic rate and the exercise that you're doing on top of that. You do that, you're good to go. You can go more extreme than that, but hey man, when you're first entering this type of stuff, that is a great way to enter the field. So, good to know about abdominal body fat, because again, it's always interesting, and I want to keep on the cutting edge as much as possible, because hey, they didn't teach me this stuff in school, okay? It was a whole bunch bunch of gibberish and a bunch of ridiculous classes. No use in blaming that. That stuff's long in the rearview mirror. I want to keep on the cutting edge of this stuff and bring the information to you. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.